So whenever I'm trying to find a new TV show or a new movie or a new book, I always look up reviews first. That's just the kind of person I am. And I love D&D shows the most. They are my favorite kind of media ever. I love them so much. But it's really hard to find good reviews of D&D shows. So it's hard to kind of find, the gems, in the internet, because a lot of them are hidden and it's hard to find information about them. So, you're like scrolling through Reddit like, is this D&D show good? What's it about? And there's like not very much information. So this is me making a YouTube show about D&D shows and which ones I like and how they're so cool and just basically reviewing them. So if you like that, stick around. So the first few episodes of this series, I am going to be reviewing the first episode of different D&D shows. Last week I reviewed Life of the Party D&D and I really love that show. I'm on the 9th episode right now. I've been listening to it nonstop. So definitely check out that video if you're looking for D&D shows to watch. But this week I'm going to be talking about Bombarded, the D&D show with a musical twist to it. Bombarded is a D&D musical podcast that follows the adventures of 3 young bards looking for adventure. They're going to a school called Strumlot and it follows their adventures as well as their mentor, and we get to see all the fun adventures that ensue. So this episode is going to be reviewing the first episode only, not any of the rest, because even though the first episode of a D&D show shouldn't be the best, in my opinion it's the most important because it's what makes me decide whether I want to continue watching it or not. So that's why I'm reviewing the first episode, and let's get started on the review. And while I'm reviewing it, I'm also going to be doing some fan art for the show at the same time. Beside my head at the same time, I'm going to be drawing Razzle. He is the dwarf druid bard character and I really like him. So yeah, let's get going with the review. So this is only the second review I've ever done, but a really important thing for a lot of listeners is audio. If your audio isn't good, a lot of people are just gonna bounce. They're not gonna want to watch it. So I always include that at the beginning of a review. The audio was really good. I really liked it, and especially because this D&D show has a music element to it, it's really important. It's really important for the audio to be good, and I think it definitely was. So yeah, if that's a deal breaker for you, you don't have to worry about that. First of all, let's talk about the characters, because without characters, what is even the point? So there are 3 PCs in this show so far. I don't know, maybe there are more later. So the first one we have is Yashi Bardum. She's a half-orc barbarian and she plays these really cool arcane mallets. She's the percussion for the group. I think she's my favorite character. She's really cool. Razzle Dazzle's son, or Razzle. He's a dwarf. He was a druid before, and he also plays a axe guitar, which I think is really cool. And I had a lot of fun kind of figuring out how to draw that whenever I was drawing him, because I did decide to draw him. We also have Randy or Randall, and he is a halfling rogue who can't read, and he plays a portable organ, which I really love. It's so cute. So talking about the characters for a second, I really liked all of them, but Yashi is definitely my favorite. She's like way taller than the other 2 because she's a half orc, and there's a hilarious scene where the halfling and the dwarf are trying to sit on chairs and they just completely failed. They rolled like really low, and then the half orc barbarian was just like, no, here you go, here's your seats. And it was like, I love that part. I think that might have been my favorite part of the episode. There are a lot of good parts, but I really liked the characters, especially in this kind of setting where it's very bard focused. I think all of their instruments are really unique, and I like kind of imagining how that will kind of play out later. And because this is like a bard music focused show, in the show they will compose a song based on the scenario that they're in, and they will play the instruments that their characters have, and they played one at the end of the episode and it was really cool to listen to, especially because they were using the instruments that their characters had and they were all singing too, and I just really liked it. It's a very unique concept for a D&D show. Most bards are not I mean, they did have to prep a little bit, but I think it's really cool to just kind of have music and bards at the very center of something, and I think everyone did a really good job kind of incorporating like the improv and spontaneity of D&D, and also thought that was a really cool idea, and I think they all did a really good job with that. But yeah, she's definitely my favorite. Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So one thing I really care about in a D&D show is that all the players and the DM have good chemistry and don't take themselves too seriously and have really good improv skills. I feel like this group is very experienced with improv and like giving each other gifts and yes-anding each other and listening, and that's super important. I feel like any good D&D show, that's their main focus, is good improv and being okay with just, making up stories on the fly, doing things that you never thought would have happened, because that's the whole point of D&D. I think they're really good at that, and I appreciated that they didn't take themselves too seriously. I feel like this kind of show, if they did try to take it really seriously, it wouldn't really fit the tone of the world. So everything was really chill and laid back. I actually listened to the first episode, most of it, it while I was taking a walk, and it was a really relaxing, fun thing to listen to. I feel like everyone is really contributing to the story, and that's a really hard thing to do sometimes, so I definitely appreciate that, and I like that part of it. Last main thing for me, I really like shows that are roleplay heavy. I don't like shows that are really combat or strategy focused or lore focused, because that's just not really something that I'm interested in. You might have a different opinion, but for me, I need a show to be very roleplay heavy. And I would say this show is pretty roleplay heavy. I feel like they were kind of getting into the groove of like knowing their characters and understanding the world. There wasn't any combat in the first episode, which was interesting. I'm kind of sensing a theme with first episodes. I feel like it was really roleplay heavy. They're still kind of getting into the groove of their characters and everything, but I did appreciate that that was basically 100% world building and character interaction. Yeah, I like that a lot. So it's definitely pretty roleplay heavy, especially compared to other games. And just final thoughts. About the show. I want to mention that I really like the NPCs, their mentor, their teacher. I really like them a lot. I think they're very mysterious. I'm interested to learn more. I think the DM is doing a really good job of introducing interesting and like, you know, interactive NPCs into the world. I also really like the barkeeper. I liked him a lot. And there's like, you know, the school bully that they kind of just like dunked on the last half of the episode, which I appreciated. So I really like the NPCs a lot. I also really like how they're incorporating music into the show. It's just very unique and cool, and I think it's kind of hard to implement, so I'm really impressed that they're doing that. And I loved the song that they played at the end. It was really cool with their instruments and stuff. I really like that. And yeah, it was just a really fun, relaxing show to listen to. I'm sure as it goes on it will get more intense, but I really liked the first episode. So because this is a review, I do talk about things that I don't like as much, but usually it's like a small section, so we'll get it out of the way now. First of all, school settings for D&D I don't especially love, because it settles the characters in one specific place a lot of the times and they don't get a lot of room to explore the world. It can be kind of repetitive, so that's something that I don't super like, but that's just a general thing. Like, I'm open, like I love Fantasy High and I really like the Graduation Adventure Zone arc, so it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's not my favorite all the time. If you have to do it well. There wasn't very much visual description of a lot of things, I felt like, or maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I feel like I had a hard time placing the characters a lot of times whenever they were talking to other characters, especially when they talked to their mentor. So, and because I'm a visual person, it's important for me to be able to have that. So that was a little bit hard for me. The last thing, I feel like there wasn't very much setup for the world, like where the very first thing when they all went to Strumlots, I feel like I was a little bit confused about what was happening. But you know, that as the episode goes on, everything becomes more clear. Yeah, I think that was basically all I had to say about Bombarded. It is a very cool show. It's very unique. I love the concept and I'm really interested to see more and listen more. And I was also kind of looking at fan art and stuff, so that's really exciting to see. Yeah, overall, I liked it a lot and I'm going to be continuing to listen to it. I am adding a lot of D&D shows to my life because Critical Role is on a hiatus because of the craziness happening. So yeah, I've added like 4 shows, so that's exciting. Hopefully you like my fan art of Razzle. I really like doing that. I really like drawing him. I'm trying to get better at like shading and rendering, but if you like this video, check out my Life of the Party review. It was a really fun episode to make. I love that show too, and yeah. And I have a animatic of the Adventure Zone coming out, so stick around for that this week. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.